occurred last night while the victims were traveling from Kaduna back to Niger State. Some locals had earlier told our correspondent that 2 persons were killed and 15 others kidnapped. But the police spokesman in Niger State, Abubakar Ina, debunked the claim, saying that only a commercial motorcyclist was killed and 4 persons kidnapped. The Niger State Commissioner for Information, Danjuma Salau, said that no contacts have been made by the kidnappers for ransom for the victims, but added that the state government will work with the Kaduna state government to ensure their release. You're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, reaching you live from Lagos. Let's quickly switch over to our Abuja studios now, where Ibrahim Adra is standing by and hopefully having a jolly good Boxing Day.
It's been great so far, Gimba. Thank you for joining us. Now, livestock guards in Benue have impounded 105 cows and 4 sheep that were grazing in the open near Akaweto Kula College of Advanced and Professional Studies in Makurdi, the state capital. Confirming the incident, the commander of the livestock guards, Mr. Linus Zaki, adds that one herder named Kunje Saija was also arrested during the operation. He explained the impounded cows will be quarantined for 7 days before being auctioned, and the owners, that is, if the owners fail to pay the required fines as stipulated by law. Recently, Governor Samuel Otom restated the commitment of Benue State government to the full implementation of the open grazing prohibition and ranches establishment law, including prosecution of offenders. Today is Boxing Day, and in Abuja, the nation's capital, residents flooded the different parks and recreation centers to celebrate the occasion. Our correspondent Kayla Megwa reports that the merrymakers were encouraged by the improved level of security in the nation's capital this holiday season and used the opportunity to relax with friends and family.
Boxing Day has become known as a day of recreation around the world. However, the day is much more than that. With its roots in 18th century Britain, Boxing Day was a tradition created to compensate workers who had to wait on their masters on Christmas Day. They could go visit their families on the 26th of December, and each worker was given a box by his employer to take home, containing gifts, bonuses, and sometimes leftover food. These days, people spend the day relaxing and sharing gifts with one another. Some merrymakers took the time to tell us what Boxing Day means to them.
Nowadays, what Boxing Day is more like you share your happiness, your gift along with others.
Boxing Day has to do with packaging some things. Your own Boxing Day could be going to the orphanage home, you arrange a lot of things for them in a box and give to them.
And it's not just Christians who are taking advantage of the season.
We choose this day as a holiday and a celebration for Christians because we have Christian friends too and relatives. So we decided to come together as a family. So all of us here are one family.
Artisans also use the opportunity to ply their trade.
As it has to do with photographer, I think I prefer last year because last year the people snap a lot, and we even snap a copy of picture last year here, 300 naira. But this year, they are pricing 150, 200.
Boxing Day has evolved into a day of indulgence, relaxation, and shopping. But its true spirit has not been forgotten. It is a day of kindness and sharing gifts with one another. For many families in the nation's capital, the best gift this Boxing Day may just be some much-needed time together. Kayla Megwa, Channels Television News.
Kayla, thanks a lot. Now, whether it's for the purpose of worship, shopping, or traveling, Christmas is a period of Christian faith will always look forward to. However, several factors, including fuel scarcity, high cost of goods and fares, and security challenges, have over the years dampened the feeling for Nigerians. In this next report, our correspondent Orelu Ashonibare looks back in time and examines how much has changed in the experiences of Nigerians at Christmas.
Every year in December, Christian faithful gather to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Aside from the regular church celebrations, Christians also spend time shopping and traveling, two activities that require spending. However, over the years, several economic and security challenges have hampered their ability to perform this function effectively. Starting with security, there's the 2011 Christmas Day bombing that rocked Madala in the Federal Capital Territory. A year later, again on Christmas, another attack was recorded in Yobe State.
When unknown gunmen suspected to be Boko Haram members stormed the church, killing 5 of them and setting the church building ablaze.
For intending travelers and shoppers, fuel scarcity, hiking prices of fares and goods make this difficult.
During the week when you travel, most times 700 at times, but on Fridays, 800. But for today, maybe because the day to Christmas, it's 1,000.
Shopping is too slow. It's done, unlike before.
Most salary earners didn't receive pay. So you buy with what savings you have before, and the market price is something else.
So how much of that has changed in 2018?
Everything kind of skyrocketed. Sometimes there is no fuel scarcity, so I don't think it's fuel. I think people just hike prices because they think it's Christmas and all that.
And I traveled actually from Lagos down here. The cost was about 8,500 before, I think, last 2 weeks or so. But when I left yesterday, it was 10,500.
Nigerians have become resilient in the face of insecurity and lack, attributes that earned them the title of being the happiest people on earth. As the year winds down, what they will most likely hope for in 2019 will be to have more positive stories to tell than previous years. Oralu Ashonibare, Channels Television News.
It's time to rejoin our Lagos studio where Anne is standing by. Anne, it's a public holiday. What's the update from the world of business?
You first. First Bank.
Yes, Ibrahim, it's a public holiday and I hope everyone is enjoying it. Well, right here, we're talking the economy on Business News tonight. There is need for bipartisan input among political parties in Nigeria just in order to drive inclusive growth for the country's economy. And that's according to a former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, Mr. Tunde Lemo, who was speaking on Business Morning today.
It's actually to sit down with the political class, whether they are on the left or on the right, and get them to understand that this is not about political ideology, it's about doing the right thing.
You're talking about a bipartisan conversation.
Exactly.
How do we get bipartisanship here? We have about 100-odd political parties. Who do you talk to among the 100?
Forget about 100-odd political parties. We all know that in Nigeria today, there are still 2-3 major political parties. I would say 2 national political parties, maybe 1 or 2 other political parties that are regional. Get them together. I'm not saying you should completely exclude the others, but at least those who are already involved in governance, get them together and let them understand that this is Nigerian interest, not necessarily a political interest. So with bipartisan input, so you know that whoever is there, you know that these are regional boundaries, these are red lines that you will not cross. And this is a national agenda that you will have to pursue, whether you are APC or whether you are PDP or whoever you are, ABGA or whatever. This is a national agenda. And the way you go about it may differ depending on whether you are left-leaning or right-leaning. But then the narrative is the same.
The governors of Kogi, Sokoto and Taraba states have presented their 2019 budget estimate to the Houses of Assembly. Governor Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto State presented 169.6 billion naira. Governor Darius Ishaku presented a sum of 146 billion naira for Taraba State, while the Kogi State Governor Yahya Bello presented a budget estimate of 146.8 billion naira.
The gallery of the Sokoto State House of Assembly is filled to capacity as Governor Aminu Tambuwal presents the 2019 budget proposal to the state lawmakers. Tagged Budget of Consolidation for Sustainable Growth and Development, Governor Tambuwal plans to spend 70.5 billion naira for recurrent expenditure and 99.2 billion naira for capital expenditure. as it has been since his assumption of office. Education sector got the highest allocation, which is 47.4 billion naira.
The budget will, among others, focus on completion of the projects started in the preceding year and to ensure prompt execution of new ones in line with the development policy agenda of the present administration. This budget is carefully formulated in line with our strong desire and commitment to address the fundamental future needs of our people in all the nooks and crannies of Sokoto State. The year 2019 budget is therefore tagged as Budget of Consolidation for Sustainable Growth and Development.
In Taraba State, it's tagged Budget of Consolidation as Governor Darius Ishaku proposed to spend 146 billion naira, with recurrent expenditure getting 73.2 billion naira, while capital expenditure gets 72.8 billion naira.
For her services in the 2019 fiscal period, the government has budgeted the sum of 146 billion, 73 million, 726,882 naira 58 kobo, which represents an increase of 16 billion 499 naira 562,187 naira 17 kobo, or 12.73%.
It is also a budget of consolidation in Kogi State, as Governor Yahya Bello proposed 71.8 billion naira for recurrent expenditure and 74.9 billion naira on capital expenditure.
We shall have 75 billion, 410 million, 728,051 as funds available for capital development projects. Number 5. Total estimated capital expenditure therefore stands as 75 billion, 410 million, 728,051.
The State Houses of Assembly promised to expedite action on the proposal as the governors commit to a full implementation of the budget when passed.
Let's talk about major markets across Africa and Europe. They're still observing the Christmas break as they're closed for Boxing Day. But stock markets in the United States and Asia were open for trading today. Let's find out how they all ended at the close of session.
Liverpool extends their lead at the top of the English Premier League, reach halfway point unbeaten with Boxing Day victory over Newcastle United. That's in sports news. Stay with us.